Well, it looks like Apple has been paying attention to the hearables market, and they've decided to do some changes to the AirPods Pro through software in both iOS and the software in the AirPods to allow you to make them hearable devices, and really good hearable devices at that. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to turn these into hearing aids. So there's a couple of things that you're going to need to do. I'm going to walk you through. You're going to have to download an app. You do need to make sure that your device is on iOS 14 and that your firmware on your AirPods is updated, which it automatically updates, updated to the appropriate firmware, which will be on the screen somewhere around here as I'm talking about it, just to make sure you have the correct version number, and I'll also show you when I do the walkthrough. And once we get finished with that, I'll come back for some final thoughts. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is go to the App Store. And once you're in the App Store, you need to do a search. And the search is going to be for a application called Mimi. And so you do a search. What you'll notice is that right in the very beginning, this is what comes up. You have the Mimi hearing test up here in the top left. So you're going to go ahead and download that. And once you have that downloaded, you go ahead and open up the app. Okay, now that you've opened up the app, this is what it looks like. It's pretty simplistic, but it does some pretty cool things. It's going to have you take a 6-minute test. And I'm going to kind of go through this real quick just so that you can see. But essentially, you click right here, and then it's going to ask you a few questions. Why are you wanting to take the test? Is it because you're curious, you suspect you have a hearing problem, you're aware you have a hearing problem, or you have your hearing just suddenly got worse? For me, it's I'm aware of a hearing loss. And so, it goes on to ask you questions. Do you often ask people to repeat themselves? Yes, I do. And then ask you to find a quiet place to go ahead and take the test. So you click OK. It's going to ask for permission for your microphone. Of course, I'm talking, so it says that it's too loud to take the test. So I'm going to go ahead and be really quiet, and I'm going to take the test. I'm going to put it into time lapse just so that you can see how it works. But as you're doing the button presses that you'll see me doing, make sure that you hold it down as long as you hear the tone, and then let off when you can't hear the tone any longer. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my AirPods Pro and start the process here. If you have AirPods Pro, you want to go ahead and put the noise canceling on at the time that you do it. So I'm going to go ahead and start now. Okay, I finished with one ear, and now it's time to go ahead and start the next ear. And I'm going to do this one fully in time-lapse mode. if it gets to a point where you see this pop up because you haven't been able to hear something, just click I can't hear anything. And then from this menu, just click Resume Test. Once you're done, go ahead and click Finished. And then you definitely want to connect Health. This is important because this is what actually puts it into iOS for you through the Health app. So go ahead and click on Connect Health. Then it's going to ask for your gender. And then, of course, your birth date. The reason they do the birth date is that it's important because it shows within your age range what your hearing is compared to normal people in your particular age range. So I'm going to go ahead and select my date of birth and hit continue. And then do you want them to track your hearing health? I do, so I'm going to go ahead and click allow. And then it's going to give the insights. In this particular test, it shows that my hearing loss is mild. That was under perfect conditions, so my hearing loss is actually a little bit more moderate, but I did some tweaks for this particular test. So it does give you an idea of what mild hearing loss means in regards to regular hearing. So once you get done with that, you can determine which ear is better. At the bottom, you'll see that it says which ear is better. So you go ahead and click on that. And it says that my right ear is slightly better than my left ear. And then this shows where you compare with people of your average age, average hearing. So it gives you kind of a barometer. And then it shows you what your capacity is per ear. So in this case, it's showing 61% in my left ear, and then 73% in my right ear. Mine's a little bit different than that, but we're just going to go ahead and go with this for the sake of the tutorial. And you're able to break down and see other information. For example, my right ear is actually slightly better than my left one. And then, where you fit within the average age of people. And then it's going to ask you to set up an account. We're going to bypass that. I just wanted to show you what the audiogram looks like and how it shows on a graph, which is very similar to how an audiologist would do your hearing. You would see the same type of graph. Once you've finished the hearing test, what you need to do is go into settings on your iPhone or iPad. In the settings, what I want you to do is scroll down to accessibility and select that. In accessibility, you want to scroll down till you get to AirPods and select that. In AirPods, you're going to scroll down till you see highlighted in blue audio accessibility settings. Select that, and then at the very top, headphone accommodations. You want to go in there and turn that on. Now, you notice when you turn it on, mine's already set up, but when you turn it on, you'll see audiogram in your tuned for section. And you want to make sure that audiogram is selected. And once you select that, you are all set up, and you can then enjoy your AirPods Pros as hearing aids. So my final thoughts are this. I was really disappointed when I bought these, a ways back, because I thought the transparency mode was going to boost sound just a little bit, and it didn't. But they've really, really knocked it out of the park with the AirPods Pro at this particular point. I had a product from New Hera that I tried for just a brief period of time, and it was decent, but there was a lot of complications as far as you couldn't connect it to more than one device. Battery life wasn't that stellar, and the price at that point was pretty high. With these, the price point is a lot less expensive. They are now at the sub $250 range. So you can certainly pick them up for very little money as far as a hearable device is concerned. Battery life is going to be somewhere between 3.5 to 4 hours based off of what you're using them for. If you're streaming audio, then of course that's going to reduce the time just a little bit, but through my own experiments, I just put them in like I would my hearing aids and ended up getting about 4 hours of life out of them. So that's not bad. It's not something that's going to carry you through the whole day, but it's something that will certainly help in a pinch. And also, for someone like myself, I don't want to put my hearing aids in before I shower, but I like to get up and have a cup of coffee and watch news and whatnot before I do shower. So being able to pop these guys in and go through my morning routine, then take them out, shower before I put in my hearing aids is great. Also in the evening, once I take my hearing aids out, usually about an hour and a half before I go to sleep, I take them out. So this fills the void there. So I can sit in bed, watch my iPad Pro, and at the same time be able to hear my wife whenever she talks to me. So certainly worth the investment. I would definitely recommend that if you have a hearing issue, you look into buying these. It does have to be in the mild to moderate range. And also, this is a great way to convince people who do have a hearing loss that don't believe that they do, that they truly indeed have one. If you bought them a set of AirPod Pros, or they had a set of AirPod Pros, and you set this up for them, it's going to give them a strong understanding as to how bad their hearing loss really is, and hopefully convince them to go see an audiologist and look into what their options are for hearing aids at this point. So with that said, please, if you have any comments, leave them down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'm thinking about doing another video where I buy another set of these and replace my daily hearing aids, my Ergos, for a week. If you think that's a good idea and you would like to see what it's like to go through a week just using these as hearing aids, please leave it in the comments below, and we'll see you soon.